and a new broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, and thanks for joining us on today's issue of Well in Print with me, Frida EGBESON. It is usually with a renewed pleasure that we come every Mondays and Fridays to come in with you, and of course, to get in touch, to know what is making headlines around the globe by navigating newspaper headlines from different parts of the world. Well in Print comes to you every Mondays and Fridays from 11 a.m. to 12 noon, where we dissect newspaper headlines, and of course we dive into in-depth analysis just thereafter. Don't go nowhere, ladies and gentlemen. I will come back to introduce you to our guest for today, and of course to take you on a newspaper cruise just after the transition, so don't shake it by. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. If you are just tuning in, you haven't missed on anything because you are right on time. You are live on Pan-African Media, and the program on air is Well in Print. And Well in Print, we take you on a journey around the globe to discover what is making news headlines as reported by newspapers' front pages. Before we go for a short break, I was saying that I'm not alone in the house, and our guest for today isn't a new person. He is a household name, and of course, a man for Well in Print. He is no one else but Time for Me Fanka Samuel. Mr. Sayo, welcome.
Good morning, Madam Frida EGBESON. Good morning, millions. And we are heading to getting to the level of billions of televiewers over Pan-African Media TV, because you know, here is where we prepare the world and we prepare the people to live their unique life before they are called by the Almighty Father.
So it has been a busy weekend. How was your weekend?
The weekend was so busy, you know. We have always been having information running up and down and things happening. And when our people cry and say people that were internally displaced should go back to their homes, we put a question mark, because what is happening on the ground, there are still killings going on. And this information that Professor Maurice Kamto visited, had a meeting in Paris, and he's coming back home, which is something we're gonna iron out and share it with the billions of televiewers here today.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, just to remind us that NFORMI is the general president of ICC. Is
ISCC. ISCC meaning ID Solutions Community Communication, which is for justice, peace building, and development.
So how is the organization faring?
The organization is reaching out to many people today thanks to the media, and for that reason I have to thank Pan-African TV for Media TV for the work they have been doing to project us, and the CEO Bashi, if I'm right,
yes, I
salute him, and I say there are people like him, the entrepreneurs, who put value to the community like him. We have seen that by reaching many people out there, we shall be doing great job. And to talk about our organization, from the beginning, they thought that we were running something for the government.
Yeah.
And at a certain point given, the government was thinking that we are defending the other voices, the voices as they call it. But to a certain point, they see that we keep moving, we keep parading, we keep navigating, we keep excelling, we keep moving towards the right direction, because we just tell you that this is where you are wrong and this is where you are right, and you maintain the right channel, because there's no government in the world. When you see where the people are united, the government bows. Government has been doing division and ruling,
divide and rule
over 65 years. It has been resisting even before 65 years. That is why you see that many of our people died, martyrs. They died because they were standing and blocking that things should move the way they want. And at a certain point, since other people wanted power and nothing else, they listened to those who just want power. And the divide and rule was nursed in Cameroon. We are working tirelessly as an organization to abolish this system which is still existing in our communities. Because I know very well that if it is abolished and the people are united, the government will listen to them. And they cannot be united in the bushes. They should be united in their communities, where we shall be heading and parading to talk with them. And by so building, we shall bring the government to table. Nothing else. And they should not think that it is somebody from the diaspora or somewhere, or an organization from somewhere, that will be a panacea to what is happening. We in Cameroon are able.
All right, I can only say thank you for what you're doing, and keep doing what you're doing.
Thank
and
you,
of
Madam
course,
Bebe.
feel free, because you are not a stranger in the house.
Thank you so
are
much.
part of the house. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard from him. You've heard what they do in their organization, and now we are going straight into our newspaper journey, because we are visiting different countries to taste the pulse of our headlines as reported by newspapers. As we know, a lot has made news over the weekend, dear viewers. So we are starting our first flight to land in the Federal Republic of Nigeria with the Punch newspaper. The Punch newspaper this morning captions. The Punch newspaper, please. We are starting today's review with the Punch newspapers that captions: ground rent 34 embassies risk closure. Ground rent 34 embassies risk closure on Tuesday, while Daily Trust captions 2027 division in Tinubu's plan. The papers in Nigeria this morning Daily Trust is saying that ahead of 2027 elections in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, there is being division in the current president Tinubu's camp. So that is what they have carried this morning. And away from the Federal Republic of Nigeria, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to move straight to the People's Republic of China with China Daily newspaper with major caption: nation's trades services accelerating. The paper says knowledge intensive sector about terrorism serving as main driving forces for the acceleration, while South China Morning Post captions on John Lee's interview. He says dollar FEG key successes factor and will stay, with him advising the countrymen that in everything they do in business, national interest should be at the central stage. So whatsoever place, whatsoever environment a Chinese person is going to do business, they're advising them that they should put first the interest of their nation, because that is what is their pride. So from one country to another, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to move straight to the United States with our Financial Times newspaper headlining: business chiefs heads for Capitol Hill to fight Trump's foreign investment tax. As global lobbying drive begins, investors and international companies exposed, hit US job feared. While the Guardian headlines: Trump deploys National Guard on Los Angeles streets in dramatic escalation. The Guardian this morning headlines: Trump deploys National Guard on Los Angeles street in dramatic escalation. The paper says President Donald Trump has been accused of hoping for chaos amidst immigration crackdown. So that is what the Guardian has told us this morning. While Daily Mail comes in with a visa scam. This makes mockery of our MP's pledge on migrants, as corrupt immigration advisors are helping illegal workers dupe their home office in a cash for visa scam. Mail Investigate has found out that they are charging up to £22,000 per person to provide skilled job in the UK for underqualified foreign workers. So that is what Daily Mail is telling us this morning from the United Kingdom. We are going to take a move right to Sunday Express with headlines. Okay, British Army too small in a dangerous world. Jeremy Hunt urges Labour to boost forces as Russia and China threatens. So we are going from here, we go to visit the Republic of Cameroon, where we are going to start with the Guardian Post newspaper that captions, after Paris rally, government frustrates Kamtos meeting with MRE supporters in Douala, deploys combat-ready security officers to MRC's littoral head office. Kamto addresses thousands of defiant supporters via video, warns Biya regime against constantly provoking Cameroonians. While still in the Republic of Cameroon, Daily Voice comes with same story as major caption, government's GAV rallies, Kamto's ranks. The story says a curious case of political irony unfolded in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala, where a government attempts to stifle opposition's leader Maurice Kamto returned from Paris, devastatedly amplifies his support with what was intended to control public order has by many accounts becomes a grand unplanned mobilization. This is where we round it for our newspapers reviews. We shall come to dive into the analytical part of the stories just after the transition, so don't go nowhere. Welcome back, beautiful viewers. If you are just joining us, you haven't missed on anything, because we have just done the newspaper roundup, and now we are diving into the analytical part of today's news reviews. We are still starting with the Punch newspaper in Nigeria that is announcing that by Tuesday, that is tomorrow, due to ground rent, unpaid rent, 34 embassies risk closure in Nigeria. That is 34 embassies in Nigeria risk closure as from now to tomorrow if they do not comply. Now, Ta, I want to come back to you. You know, countries are open to diplomatic missions. We open because we want to have interactions and exchanges between countries, continents, easily for our people. But is it the right thing if you hear that 34 embassies, because of ground rent, risk closure in Nigeria? How do you look at such a situation?
This is a very bleak painting of the African soil, because we know when you want to talk of Africa, you talk of Nigeria and other big African nations. When it comes to the point that this type of information is reaching us, it make me cry, because we could keep on promoting that we are not yet fit of managing certain things. But if countries, if at all, I would have had the list of the embassies, it would have been well done, so that I should know whether the Western world is also concerned, or it is they are African nations.
It will be, you know, at times newspapers just caption to push people to buy, to discover
exactly.
The countries.
So what we plead is that such things at times newspapers should open up to not to put people in doubt, and people should also buy the newspapers and read, and to encourage the journalists, because at times it attract those consumers. So you don't just pick from the caption, because at times when you pick from the caption, you can carry wrong information to deform the people. So I begged with them, and that if anything of the sort is happening on the ground in Nigeria, it is better the set embassies or the set nations come closer to the people and then talk with them, negotiate, because in anything we know in the world is that negotiation is better than everything. The people who run from the negotiation table, they are so doubtful, and they are the ones spoiling the world, degrading the world and degrading their government. And when any person or people, group of people or a nation take the courage to sit at the table to negotiate, I think is the best strategy in managing crises like what is happening in Nigeria on ground concerning the rent.
Yeah, the rent issue.
Yes.
So now we will go to Daily Trust. Daily Trust on its own part is talking about 2027 elections. You know, it's election air floating around countries. Cameroon has in October, other countries we have next year, other countries, and Nigeria is having their own election in 2027. And Daily Trust is telling us this morning that there is division in Tinubu's camp. Is that good for a president who is aiming to come back?
I would say it is good, because it portrays the evolution of democracy in Africa. If when you have a leader and you cannot stand to challenge him, therefore you are not a leader as well, because in his camp he has good leaders that can lead better than him. That is why the challenge and division is coming up. So he better put his candidature on the table and see whether he will be re-elected during pre-elections to prepare for his candidature. That is something that is not been happening in some countries. They just clap and the candidacy is put. I advised Tinubu to put his candidature on the table. He should be elected democratically within the ranks of his party before they will see who will go in for the elections of 2027. And that is something we have to hit on it very well. That thing of unanimous applaud, we should sound on it terribly. It should not happen. It should not happen. Challenging a president as a candidate is a democratic move. That should be saluted. That should be applauded. Then when it comes, they will call it division. I don't see it as division. I see it as a right to do it.
All right, a right to do it. That is what Nigeria was talking this morning. So we go to China, where we look at what they are saying. They say, major caption, nations trade services accelerating. The paper says a knowledge-intensive sector inbound, tourism services as main driving forces. So the Chinese are telling us that their services, trade services, accelerating, which means business is booming and they are making wealth. And they have cited two things: knowledge intensive and of course the tourism sector. I want to globalize it. Yes. You think the tourism sector, China is a colorful country.
Yes.
Very colorful.
Yes.
Like we say, Cameroon is Africa in miniature. China
Exactly.
is colorful in all its...
Having all the values?
All the values.
Yes.
So now their tourism sector is bringing, and they are going in Africa. Now I want us to contextualize it in Africa. Do you think our tourism sector in Africa is doing enough to help our own economies accelerate as in per income entering the country?
Of course. Today we are talking of Dubai, but years backward we are not talking of Dubai. That is the United Emirates, Republic. We are talking of Dubai today because of they have constructed, they have made things that attract tourists. If you have, and they protect the tourist, that is security. If you have a good touristic site without protection, people will not come there. It is long that we don't talk of tourism in Cameroon because of many challenges. Even researchers are having issues. You see, when you want to turn your nation into a touristic site, as the Chinese are doing, when you go to China, what will you not see? You see everything. They even grew crops on the roof of their, and you want to visit where there are aeroplanes that can make you visit the town. It has been happening in the days of Amadou Ahidjo in Cameroon, but at a certain point given, it went as it went. But we are encouraging that spirit can still be planted, and in many other African nations, because if we want
to invest on tourism.
Exactly, tourism brings a lot of money. We can, in a nation in Africa, we talk of you have this Burkina Faso. It has become a point of tourism that tourists are more focused of visiting to see and touch on the ground, because many people are accusing the Burkina Faso fans and the Burkina Faso the citizens that what do we see on social media is not real on fake, ground. Yes. So it's fake. So they want to go and touch then and leave the reality on ground. So that is what the tourism, it brings in the touristic side. It booms the touristic side. So I encourage others as well to at least do some innovations in the touristic side. It brings in a lot of money. And to talk not to, like, I should quote Cameroon, for example. We are having more than 250 ethnic groups, and that is richness. That's money.
Cultural wealth.
Yes. And we have many touristic sites. they are not
Are they
valued.
well projected?
They are not projected because there's no communication there. They should be communicated. And one thing with the government, they want to do everything alone. They should bring in another party that this is your sector. See how you can communicate our touristic side, tourism sector, then and project it to the world. I think it would go viral and people will like to visit. And by so doing, they should also assure those who are promulgating the touristic site that there is enough security for tourists.
All right, we go now to the South China Morning Post. With the interview, like we say, they're saying that in business, it's in an exclusive interview. So we are taking just a pinch from it. It's a whole interview. So they advise Chinese businessmen, economic operators, that in whatsoever thing they are doing, the interest of the nation should be put first. Now, I want to say this in relation to what has been happening. China and the United States of America, countries of the European Union, with President Donald Trump and his, like all is about America and nothing else. Do you see this advice from John Lee as a response to Donald Trump's reaction regarding trades and tax?
Thank you, madam, for your technical way of asking questions. You know, the president of China is just coming out bold today.
Yeah.
Yes, to tell the world that no matter you make noise, we are leading. And China is everywhere, and they are doing it rightly. It's not like noise making. I will tell you that go into the archives. Even America is owing China.
Of course.
Many countries around the globe are owing China. They have something to pay to China. And if you want to do something today, okay, pay his debts, and he will turn the table again.
Yeah.
So what Ni has just said is something that countries around the globe, mostly African nations, should take it serious, that with the resources we have at hand, we can put our nation first. It is not only China first. I want to hear Nigeria first,
yes,
South Africa first, Cameroon first, all the 54 countries first. Because when we are there at the first, I think the people will lead, they enjoy the rest. When we mingle only to survive, it should not be the leadership skills of the 21st century. Because 21st century leadership goes mostly on problem solving.
That's true.
Yes. And those who are behind can be orientating certain problems to the leaders that are at the helm of the republic. But you, as the leader who is leading millions of people, you solve problems or you leave. That is it. A point, you make your country be the first, or we don't want second. Who wants to be second? Nobody. So we have come in, like with this our organization, to make Cameroon become first, because for over the years Cameroon have lost many things and has gone backward. And it will not only end in Cameroon. We go all over Africa, sending them the message, telling them Africa should be first, and all the nations that constitute Africa should be first.
All right. Now we are looking at the United States of America with Financial Times. Financial Times talk of how business chiefs head for Capitol Hill to fight Trump's foreign investment tax. Global lobbying begins. You know, Trump has not taken it easy on the issue of tax from the global world. So investors are going to lobby international companies that have exposed hit the U.S. job fears. So do you think this lobbying is going to produce something? Will they be able to come back? Like you said, everything evolves around dialogue.
Yes.
Do you think the fact that these business chiefs are going to meet up to talk about this can help change something, or can help Donald Trump to change his stance concerning the way business is done in his country?
I salute this decision taken, that the business chiefs are going to be at the limelight to do some lobbying, and it is very necessary for America, because during the return of Donald Trump, he has said a lot but has done little. You know, this type of leadership destabilizes many things. That's why you see the chiefs are fighting to bounce back, to come to table and negotiate with foreign investors and companies so that they can come to the American soil and do things there. This would have done in a more mature way if Donald Trump never attacked nations that are investing in America. And it would have been a very nice thing, sitting at the table with them. It will take time, but what I know is that with the intelligence and the intellectual class of America, nothing can be above them because they believe in the value of dialogue. It is not like somewhere around the globe where they think that dialogue should be prohibited. Yeah. The dialogue is the most thing people should respect, and I know the results shall be positive because any person that is trying or company that will invest in America with the population that they have there, they are investing to have interest and to make a win-win program.
Okay, we leave Financial Times and we dive to The Guardian. The Guardian headlines this morning says Trump deploys National Guard on Los Angeles streets in a dramatic escalation. The paper says President Trump has been accused of hoping for chaos amidst immigration crackdown. Can a president for real hope for chaos in his country?
Of course. There are times when you see them in the daytime, or you think that they are well. At night, they don't sleep because they see that their program that they have brought to people, it is not well. People don't take it lightly, and there are some people that criticize openly, and good criticism. I think it will be good for Trump to listen to his population at a time, because you don't come to impose, you come to dialogue and open up and see what you can take and go ahead with it. A lot of things have been happening during his as he came back as the president. Mandate. Yes, as God, this is second mandate is so questionable, and I keep asking, what is his mission? Has it come to destabilize the world again or what? So I'm pleading and apologizing that Trump, you've come to do something that the world should leave legacy. The 100 days had a lot of challenges in America. We are above a 100 days. Challenges are still coming. I doubt. I say, what is really happening with Trump? So the only thing is that the challenge is real. Trump should give the senators, give the chiefs that he has put in place, the judiciary, and make sure he listens to them. Because when a leader fails to listen, you are planning to fail. And I'm hoping that this mandate should be something that will project Trump and America, not to deform people in what is going on, but to take people to another stage of life, that people should understand that you can come in as a president, and maybe if you go back and you are coming back, people should receive you. People should not shoot stones at you.
Yeah, positive. You're talking about positive legacy.
Exactly.
All right. Daily Mail talks about visa scam that makes mockery of the PM's pledge on migration, as corrupt immigration advisors are helping illegal workers dupe Home Office in a cash for visa scam. Mail investigators has found out that they are charging up to £22,000 per person
yes,
to procure a skilled job in the UK for unqualified foreigners. We are talking again corruption. This is corruption not in the African continent. This is corruption in a place where we think they are the model we should imitate, we should copy and emulate. If you see this kind of scenario where visa advisors are helping people who are not qualified to pick up jobs, because they're asking them to pay as much as £22,000 to procure visas for jobs, whereas they're not qualified, what comes to mind?
It comes to my mind that meritocracy is being dealt with. You know, we have been holding to the powers of meritocracy, and if Western world has seen it that they want to go back into millions of years before Christ era, it won't sound well, because we know when the merited people or the real people, the technocrats, are at work, you know, they yield fruits and give good things to everybody. Even if you are not working, you can have some salary, like the days of Gaddafi. There were people that were not working in Libya, but they were having some money.
Monthly allowance.
Good. They should implement that than employing people that don't merit. Therefore, you are planning that the nation should fail.
And these people are brought from overseas.
Yes.
Yeah, they are
and
brought
if
from
people,
overseas.
you go and search people from overseas, except they are going to do farming. They should say something, because farming, they can just tell you do that, do this, and maybe in a week's time or two, you can start manipulating the machines or do any other thing. But not the machines, but they should use their hands. That's they should use their hands to do it. But if it is technical work, it needs expertise, it needs professionals. So if this is being practiced there, I begin to laugh. I say that is a strategy to fail the nation, to make the nation fall, because we respect England, we respect the Western world. But if they are going to that stage, they should also know that they were not the first to import good governance. Good governance started long ago, millions of years ago, in the traditional council, and that is what ID Solutions Community Communication, a Justice, Peace Building and Development Association, is promoting. The one that I lead. If we go somewhere that there is no village council, we don't deal with the people, the community.
Of course.
We make sure we tell the people through their phones, you create a traditional council, bring in ladies, bring in youth, bring in the elders, bring in other communities that are living under your control.
Every sector should be respected. Every genre should be respected.
And each quarter should also be involved. They should send their member there, so that when they talk from there, you see the phone have light work.
It becomes easier.
It becomes easier because it is open. Even the church leaders, the religious leaders and Islam leaders, they should be there. Then when everybody is being represented, it becomes like the assembly of the community.
We combine our ideas.
Combine our ideas, we use it well, and we make things move.
Good.
You know, some challenges in Africa came because some class of people felt as if they were not part of the issue. And if you are not part of you are not belonging, you don't feel like belonging.
And others have monopoly of everything.
Yes. And when this monopoly comes, it seems as if everything is being imposed on you. And when you are leading a people and you are imposing, they don't take it. They want to be part of it. They belong to that community. Why is it that they are not at the table? When they sit at the table, they carry the message now to their groups.
They shouldn't be surprised.
That is it. You carry the message down to your groups and they tell them it passed smoothly and people enjoy it. So if this England is taking us backward, I will say no. I will say no. I stand here to say no, and I hit the table to say no, England.
No to such corruption.
Yes, because Anglo-Saxon people are looking up to Anglo-Saxon culture, and
people of principles,
people of dignity, people of hierarchy, people of monarchs. You know, the monarchs are people that love respect, and they like their respect is mutual. Transparency, good governance, everything. If they are getting us back, therefore we shall not imitate. We shall use our African tradition and the cultural way and our village councils to educate them the more. That is why ISCC has come not only to educate people in Cameroon, Africa. We are going beyond Africa to the world.
That was Daily Mail, and now Sunday Express is saying something about British Army too small in a dangerous world. Jeremy Hunt, that's the opinion of a citizen. Jeremy Hunt urges Labour to boost forces as Russia and China threatens. You know,
today is hot. Today is very hot.
Someone is crying here that Jeremy Hunt says the British Army is too small. Like they need, in French you say, il faut l'effectif.
Yes.
So they should add, because China and Russia are threatening. What do you think about this? Should the British have any need to worry? Because we do not know the British as a warlike people. In recent times, maybe in the past, where there was First World War and Second World War, in recent times, we've not heard British get involved in such things. So is there need for the Britons to worry about?
I would say the British don't need to worry, but the cry of that man should not be given a deaf ear.
Okay.
But I will also advise the person who rules his opinion that security is first in the head, and it is self. It starts from self.
Starts from self.
So what he ought to have been doing is to hold rallies and encourage other organizations to join him, cry out loudly for each and every citizen to be aware, create some awareness of security-wise and propagate his message. If you have a genuine population or genuine citizens, it is through civic education that you, not military. This thing of military, we have long passed that stage.
No, they are preparing. If another country should come and attack them, at least their military should be ready. They should have an.
We are talking of globalization here.
All right.
So when anyone talks about globalization, the person should be ready with, not with military, but with civic education.
Okay.
That is why we should military should be there for colorful issues. Yes, maybe there are some natural disaster or other things, then they can intervene as well. But when we focus mostly that our security is military, I just begin to laugh that what well are we building? And I want to challenge England and other nations that depend fully on military, that the military should do the work. We of the 21st century leadership skills we are putting to the world is that military should be there to remind us that in the past things were happening, and today they are just there to be like maintaining the culture of military and security, to keep away maybe some hooligans, maybe some other things within the nation. But if it comes to international attack or all those type of things, I say no. It is time we use robust,
we sought peace.
Robust ways of civic education to project justice and peace everywhere, and not be putting military first. Because when we put military first, even where we should come to the decision table or to the negotiation table, we are afraid we may finally be sent to the military. They will not even go and know what to negotiate. You know, everybody is good in his or her field, and if there is any negotiation table or talking something at the table, it's not the military that will go.
The field of war is for the military.
The field of war. That's what I'm saying. War should be
the last thing to think about.
The last thing to think about.
All right.
And civic education should take the center stage. So that's what we want to say. Because, you know, areas where they believe that the military can do anything, they even kill people that would have been resourceful to the nation. Imagine like Cameroon, the crisis is going on, and we have external attacks from so-said Boko Haram. Instead of being in unity to fight external the common enemy, we are instead killing our own ourselves on something that we cannot sit at the table and talk.
We shall come back to that. Okay, that's it. So we are moving now to Cameroon. You're just talking about Cameroon with the Guardian Post newspaper. The Guardian Post newspaper is headlining: after Paris rally, government frustrates campus meeting with MRC supporters in Douala, deploys combat-ready security officers to MRC littoral headquarters. Now I have the question. Maybe we'll just join the two newspapers from Cameroon today because they have the same headline. Daily Voice comes up with same story with his own caption: government's Gav rallies, campus rank. The story says a curious case of political irony unfolded in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala, where government attempt to stifle opposition leader Maurice Kamto's return from Paris inadvertently amplifies his support. We'll look at it there. So the Guardian Post says, now I have one question running in my mind.
Yes.
Like we all know, Professor Maurice Kamto was in Paris for a political meeting. Apparently, it was a success. Like, it frightened the regime in place, the turnout, and what came out of it. And upon his return to Douala yesterday, the scenario was different. I just watched and I was like, what is happening? We can sit in this house and there is war somewhere. It wasn't an easy task. So should the government restrict opposition parties from holding meetings or from meeting with their supporters?
Before I come to that point, I would like to put something here clear.
All right.
The visit of Maurice Kamto in Paris was successful. And coming back to homeland,
Yeah.
it should not be prohibited by whosoever who thinks that should prohibit this eminent son of our land. He's an elite of this nation that should be respected. When you are coming back home, you are welcomed by your family members, by your friends, by your loved ones. I don't see it like a polemic or like something that the government should stop him from doing, from his people from receiving him. It was a warm welcome to receive the champion after a successful outing, and that is what is done in families. I know when somebody is going traveling, you see people going to the airport to see goodbye, and when he is coming again, dance groups will come and be celebration. Okay, I would advise what you said concerning prohibiting political parties from holding rallies. It is not right, because what Maurice Kamto came to do in Douala, or wanting to do, the headquarters of CRM is found in Grand Moulin, Deido, Littoral region, Cameroon. And there is nothing you have to go as taking authorization before holding a meeting in your headquarters.
At times, some of those authorizations are refused. It is not.
At times, it is refused. But with the headquarters, it is like your working place. You move in and come out at will. People should stop this misconception and passing the wrong message to our citizens. The misconception is there that he would have asked for you are asking for a permission to come back to your country, or to go to your headquarters,
or for people to receive you.
Yeah. So at a certain point, it is good for political parties when they want to hold rallies, open rallies in the field, in the stadia.
There you have an authorization.
That is it. An authorization is welcome, because that one you are going to an area.
You are meeting in your office.
Yes, also. You are out of your office, but in your office you don't. You are out of your office. You are out of your headquarters. It is very, very advisable to get some honor, that the state should know that they are coming there. Not only they are coming there for your security wise. You there as the political leader, they are coming there to make sure your rally is well managed, because some other people can come and disrupt it.
Of course.
Just to create some panic among your militants. So the presence of the military or security officers is very well, and it cannot be given if you don't see the divisional officer or the governor or the DO.
Yeah.
So you have to work in collaboration. They should be in collaboration, but not in prohibition. They should not prohibit.
You know, the funniest thing in this is that despite this, they say, military security struggling to defend people, Professor Maurice Kamto still had a meeting with his supporters via Zoom.
Yes.
Online.
Yes.
So the world has gone digital.
The world is digital. And you quite remember that in Senegal, they used the digital to win the elections. So people think that we are in the analog era. We have long passed that stage. And that is why we are winning on ground as well as an NGO, because we go digital and reach out to many people. That's why Professor Maurice Kamto did. Yeah. And it was successful. And what matters is the content of the meeting. You see? So the government at a certain point is making advertisement and fertilizing the CRM political party of Maurice Kamto, of which if they allowed him to come gradually, he was received by his militants, and did not make it become a news or an event. It would have passed without being noticed by certain people as well. But to a certain point, I will appreciate and I thank the maturity of the CRM militants. They are more mature today than yesterday the past years. If it was happening as it was happening in the past years or yesteryears, people would have been somewhere.
Yes, they would have gone confrontational.
So I salute and I thank Maurice Kamto for succeeding to give a good message of peace and justice, that the people should hold to the values and the values of our institutions and respect the military or the officer or the officials on what they are doing. And on the other point, the security officers were on two camps. Some were even just respecting the orders from above.
Normally.
Then in reality, in their heart, they hold to the values of each other and know that every Cameroonian
honor and faithfulness, honor fidelity.
Get that honor and faithfulness.
When duty calls,
yes, duty conscious. You have to honor what your hierarchy has said. Be it what before you complain. But I think many among them, we have a report to give if at all they are given the chance.
We still stay with the CRM show yesterday. In this video meeting, Professor Kamto warns the BR regime to he wants the BR regime to stop provoking Cameroonians, to constantly provoking Cameroonians. Did you see that as a provocation to Cameroonians yesterday? Was that another show of provocation to the Cameroonians?
It was written in gold that it is provocation to Cameroonians, because you cannot decide and refuse someone's right. And when you want to refuse someone's right, you should be very careful, very, very careful, because it causes tensions, erosion, and it becomes so dangerous for the people, because loving people coming out to receive their champion, it was a way to allow them celebrate the day, and 24 hours or some few hours after, everybody will be dispersed, and it would have been very well welcomed. When it comes to the fact that this should not be done here, this should not happen like this, you suppress the people, and when people are suffocated, it comes to a point that it will escalate. With this word, I'm begging and pleading to the government, they should stop provoking the population. Allow the population celebrate with their champions. We are in a free arena of politics. We are freely to make the choice. We are free. If your manifesto is good, they vote you. That is all. This panic that when come to cops, the Yaoundé regime is panicking. What is happening?
That is what I was asking.
Yes, they are panicking.
Because many people have it that the regime in place is scared that these Kamto's Paris visit and coming, what happened to Douala, is some sort of fright from the regime in place. Is there any need why the regime in place should be scared when they are the ones who have the knife and the yam where they are seated?
There is something I will say here clearly, that the CRM political party has been doing for the past years without noticing. They should know that the problems we have are here in Cameroon.
Yes.
Let's face facts. The problems we have are here in Cameroon. And if there is anything you have to begin or to end, you start in Cameroon and end in Cameroon. But when you want to believe the force of the diaspora first, therefore there is something fishy. Yes. You will make yourself, they begin to follow you as a suspect of which you are not. We quite remember when last time when they were starting following how to make campaigns for parliamentary and municipal elections. Professor Maurice Kamto and CRM party were bet in the diaspora.
They didn't go for
They didn't go for it.
They were sympathizing with the Nozo people.
When sympathizing is going to the decision table, you have the advantage to go to the decision table. Go there before you change your people. Then you stay behind sympathizing. If you are doing nothing, you are part of the problem. If you are sympathizing, of which you have that, you are capable, possibility of being at the decision table, you refuse. Therefore, what are you sympathizing? Someone who, I am here, I'm carrying a lot of people, I'm carrying many people behind me, millions of people. And if I don't say it well, the way it is, they will run. They will not even listen to me tomorrow. So meaning what? When you are a leader, know that when you sit alone, you are not alone. Yeah. As some musician sang, I am not alone. Yeah. And I think it's like Michael Jackson, but his legacy lives because he said things well. As a leader, you are not alone. You are carrying millions of people, and you are carrying many problems. You are carrying the problems of the state. Imagine just me at the state that I'm managing an NGO. I'm carrying a lot of problems, and I don't sleep early. At times I sleep around 2 o'clock or even getting to 3 because there are some problems I solve at night. You see, he at the level with the his portfolio that he has as a presidential candidate aspirant, you don't go for problem solving, you go for sympathize. I say no, it's a wrong political step that should not be encouraged by anybody or by any other organization in Cameroon. If there are problem solving, face the fact and solve it. Concerning what happened in Paris, you know, Paris and Cameroon has been at a certain challenging moment. That last visit of Emmanuel Macron, the Paris president, came here. It never ended all well because he was trying to ask questions about the continuity of President Paul Biya, as whether he will be putting his candidature. I think the mathematics President Paul Biya gave him, he had it, and he had it that if you have 7 years and you can subtract 4 from 7 or 3 from 7, you see what is remaining. So as the president of this country, I still have some years ahead of me, and that year is this year. That Cameroonians have to come out in their numbers to see whether it is President Paul Biya who will continue his mandate or another person will come in through ballot boxes, not through manipulation, because people are already putting manipulation around. So meaning what? That question came from the president of France. Then going to France to start your meeting with the people there, you see, we analysts put a question sign.
Okay, maybe he's just going to fraternize. You know, it's been long.
We analysts put a question sign that people should start things here.
Charity should begin at home. All right.
Yes.
So one more question before we go. You know, elections are coming in October 2025, and the atmosphere in Cameroon as at now isn't that friendly. People are hostile. The little things make people to just, vibrate. You go to the market, everything is expensive. You go this way, things are not moving, and now you have opposition parties who are prohibited from holding meetings. Maybe they themselves, they have their infighting, the oppositions and all whatnot. We fear for Cameroon. Some people have expressed fear for Cameroon. Do you fear for October? How do you perceive October?
I don't fear.
Somebody was telling me that in October they'll just go to the village and stay until the elections are over.
I will tell them they should not go anywhere. I don't have fears because ISCC has means of educating the public. That is why we are here. And what will change Cameroon is not even political parties. It is the civic education we are sharing to the people. Because people have to have shift of mind from negative to
positive.
Right?
Yeah.
From the people should have a shift of mind. That is what will change Cameroon. Put even the Pope as the president of this country, will still have challenges. But
there are challenges everywhere.
Yes. But if we have a shift of mind from negative to positive,
attitude change,
it will yield fruits, and Cameroonian will love to be, and we see the land of milk coming.
Wow.
I'm telling you, and we are ready to do it. And we are rising people, get registered. On the coming, make sure you get your registration
card. Have your decision in your hand.
Yes, that is your decision. Somebody should not like that they come, madam, or say, no, you don't listen to it. Your heart should talk for Cameroon. Your heart should speak for Cameroon. The love you have for this nation should come out on that day. You choose your candidate. Before that day, make sure you know the ballot paper of the person you are going to vote. That is the only way we shall change Cameroon. Those thinking that they will take advantage of some areas and do manipulation will not allow it happen. Will not allow it happen, because this day, imagine, just as we are talking, there are already billions of televiewers, and even if you are not ready to see it now, after this program, just go to the link or go to Africa. Pan-African Major TV on Facebook,
on Instagram, YouTube,
all those places. You will see us and you will listen to us talking. We should not receive certain things as we are Cameroonians. We cannot go and borrow people from somewhere to go and change Cameroon. No, we need mindset shift. And I say on this, even in the Gulf, they have some heroes that are unsung. I'm saying in the CPG, they have some. If they take over, they will do wonders. They should not. People should not make as if they should face reality Go to the ground. When I see some political parties come on panel like Pan-African major TV, as we are sitting here, and begin to talk of other aspirants, I laugh. Put your manifesto to your people. That's your test of knowledge. Let them buy your idea. We are imposing a good governance system, and we do it with communities because that is the grassroots. And when you are doing something, you don't go to the grassroots. What result are you expecting? And they forget that CPTM is right in the grassroots, even in their communities. They are all over, in the suburbs, in all the 10 regions, in all the 360 municipalities. Then you see, even in their homes,
everywhere. Even
come to who is fighting today. He's a good product of CPTM. It is just the mind shift who has turned him to do.
His mind has shifted.
He has shifted.
Yeah.
He's not like trying to do. He's always shifted. So as I was earlier said about the mind shift, we should learn how to talk, do the realities on ground. And the number of aspirants that are almost, we are listing 30 as of now. Maybe in the days ahead they will go to 50 when the time will come, or they will reduce. If they reduce, the better.
So but if they casting their support on others,
exactly.
Stuff
if they reduce, it will be good, because you now see that if Cameroon was an elephant thrown to those 30 aspirants, they will not even share it to Cameroonians.
Not at all. Just them alone.
You see that. You see how bleak they are trying to paint our nation.
Whereas it's not.
Mama. Oh, I'm thanking Papa Bashi for making us this platform, which is so beautiful, and we talk to our people. And what I want to insist here is that if Cameroonians love Cameroon, let them reduce the in two camps, the regime and
the opposition.
So
is that your take-home message? You look straight to the camera and give them your take-home message.
Yes. My take-home message is that what I want to tell millions and billions of televiewers of Pan-African media, TV, we are at the 21st century. We should not accept manipulation from whosoever. Even any political party or people, because ourselves, we should love ourselves, make sure we know have our voters card on time, know the person we are going to vote on time, then on the day go out quietly, go to the table, take the papers, the ballot papers, choose your leader, drop in the ballot box, sign, come out quietly. If you can go home, you go home and wait for the results. And if you can stay around to hear the polling station result, you stay around and hear the polling station result in a respectful manner. And we of the civil society and ISCC are talking to the candidates, the aspirants, that very soon they will become candidates for the presidential elections. They should do responsible campaigns, responsible reach out to people, responsible sharing of the platforms in respect of the citizens of Cameroon, in respect of other presidential candidates, in respect of our nation, fatherland, Cameroon. Because if you do something out of this context, I think if the security officers are coming for you, we shall also look for some people that are good enough to hold you and take you to the prison.
All right, for me, Fanka Samuel, it has been a pleasure having you on this set again today.
Thank you, Madam Ebe.
We have had a wonderful time. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard from him. It is on this note that we call it quit on today's edition of the program. But please don't go away, because more exciting and interesting programs are still on the way. Like he said, you can follow us live on Pan-African Media TV on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube. In fact, on all the social media handles, just type Pan-African Media TV and you're going to have us. And of course, you can watch all the programs that we are bringing. It has always been a pleasure to know that you are out there, and of course you have been faithful watching us and commenting and giving us all the encouragement you're giving us. Now I want to say a big thank you to all my technicians behind the machines, providing us with these beautiful images and sound and ensuring that this program was a success. Until we meet on Friday, please have a pleasant week ahead. Ciao ciao.
Thank you so much.